My name is Daniel Harper. I'm 58 years old. I've buried a wife. I've raised a son. I've lived an honest life. But for most of it, I was living inside a lie.
I grew up in a small town outside Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Quiet streets, white fences, the kind of place where people wave even if they don't like you. My father, Thomas Harper, was a respected sheriff's deputy. Strong jaw, firm handshake, never missed church. My mother, Eleanor, was warmth, soft voice, painter's hands. She smelled like lavender and oil paint. When I was 6, she disappeared. Dad said she ran off with another man. He burned her paintings the next morning. I remember the flames more than her face. For years, I asked questions. Where did she go? She made her choice, Dad would say. End of conversation. There were no missing posters, no search parties, just silence. And children learn quickly what not to ask. By the time I was 12, I stopped saying her name. By 18, I hated her. I thought she abandoned me. Then at 57, Dad died of a stroke. Cleaning out his house felt mechanical. Dust, old uniforms, locked drawers. And then the attic. I wasn't looking for answers. I was looking for closure. Instead, I found a .38 revolver wrapped in 1974 newsprint. The barrel smelled faintly metallic, even after all these years, and there were brown stains on the paper. Dried, dark, old. Not rust, blood. I drove straight to the county records office. "Can I access case files from 1974?" I asked. The clerk, a woman younger than my son, squinted at me. "Depends on the case." There was a missing person, Eleanor Harper. She typed, paused, typed again. "There's no missing persons report under that name." My throat tightened. "What about an incident report? October 14th. She clicked. Her face changed. "There was a domestic disturbance call to your address that night." I felt my pulse in my ears. "Outcome?" She hesitated. "Responding officer, Thomas Harper." My father. No further notes. Case closed. I tracked down Frank Delaney, retired deputy, Dad's old partner. He lived alone in a trailer park outside town. He opened the door slowly. Time had folded him in half. "Frank," I said, "it's Daniel." His eyes flickered. "You look like her." My chest froze. "What happened that night?" He stared past me. "Your father wasn't the man you thought." "Tell me." Frank's hands trembled. "She wanted to leave him. She found out about the gambling, the debts." "What debts?" "He owed men in Chicago, dangerous men." My stomach dropped. "She threatened to report him." Frank swallowed. "There was yelling. A gunshot." I couldn't breathe. "Was it an accident?" Frank closed his eyes. "No." That night, I went home and stared at my wife's old photograph. Claire died 3 years ago from cancer. Before she passed, she once told me, "You carry anger that isn't yours." I didn't understand then. Now I did. My father didn't just kill my mother. He killed my ability to love without fear. I had pushed Claire away for years, emotionally distant, always expecting betrayal, because somewhere deep down, I believed women leave. But she didn't leave. She stayed, until the end. And I never told her how afraid I was. I thought that was the worst of it. I was wrong. 2 days later, a black USV pulled into my driveway. A man stepped out. Mid-60s, sharp suit, cold eyes. "Daniel Harper?" "Yes." "My name is Victor Salerno." The name hit like ice. "Chicago. Debts." He smiled faintly. "Your father owed my family money. That was 50 years ago. Debt doesn't expire. I don't have anything to do with that." He stepped closer. "He paid in installments." My stomach turned. "What kind of installments?" Victor's eyes didn't blink. Information. A chill crawled up my spine. About who? About federal investigations in the Midwest. My father, a dirty cop, selling intel to organized crime. And when your mother found out, Victor said softly, she became a liability. My hands shook. You ordered it? Victor tilted his head. We prefer the word necessary. I lunged at him. He didn't flinch. You think killing me fixes it? He asked calmly. 50 years ago, your father begged us to spare you. I froze. What? He said, do whatever you want to her, just leave my son out of it. My heart shattered. He didn't kill her in rage. He sacrificed her to protect me. The realization was unbearable. Monster, protector, both. Victor straightened his cufflinks. You are not your father. We are not here for revenge. Then why are you here? He handed me a sealed envelope. Inside was a bank statement, an offshore account, in my name, opened in 1975, funded monthly until 1992. Total $2.4 million. Blood money. My entire college education, my house, my life, built on it. That night, I sat in the dark with the gun from the attic on the table. I could turn it over to the police, expose everything. But most of the men involved were dead, including my father. Justice would be symbolic. Or I could keep the money, pretend none of this happened. Victor called the next morning. Well, he asked. I'm not taking it. Silence. I'm donating every cent to a domestic abuse foundation in her name. A long pause. That's inconvenient, he said. I don't care. You're making powerful enemies. I looked at my mother's only surviving painting I'd secretly saved from the fire. A sunrise over a field. Hope breaking through darkness. I already had one, I said, and hung up. 2 weeks later, Frank Delaney was found dead. Heart attack, they said. I knew better. Victor sent a message without sending one. Fear returned, heavy. But something else came with it. Resolve. I went to the FBI. I handed over everything. Records, statements, the gun. They reopened cold files tied to Chicago operations in the 70s. Victor Salerno disappeared. Maybe arrested, maybe buried. I never found out. Sometimes, justice isn't loud. It's quiet and permanent. Last month, I received a package. No return address. Inside was a photograph, taken in 1973. My mother holding my hand, smiling. On the back, written in faded ink, he tried to protect you. For 52 years, I hated a woman who never left and loved a man who destroyed her. It took me half a century to understand something simple. Love without truth becomes poison, and protection without integrity becomes violence. If you're carrying anger, make sure it belongs to you, because sometimes the story you believe is the crime itself.